Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Your Story, Our Lens. On my left, we have a special guest. This is Willie Joe Nelson. He is going to be running for the judge's position, and that is an interesting story that's going around on that. What made you want to do the job?
What made me want to do this job?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can go back several years on it if you want.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm a pipe fitter by trade, and the year that Eric first ran and won, I had a few friends that I was working with as pipe fitters was pushing me to run for that position.
That's cool. So for a few years now, you've been...
Yeah. And I don't know why I did not run that year. Just decided not to. But I had mentioned it several times throughout the years since with family and friends. And I seen that he was running unopposed. And then this Terra Wolf
Yeah, so
announcement.
That was a big deal.
That's not the big reason, but my dad, of all people, comes in my garage, sits down beside me, and says, "You know, son, now's as good a time of any." And I said, "You're right." And I headed straight to the courthouse.
That's wild. So how long was the process to get everything in?
So it took me about 2 weeks to get all of my emails straightened out. When I went up to the courthouse, I took care of a little business first. And while I was there, I said, kind of nonchalantly, I said, just go ahead and put me down for running for judge executive while I'm up here.
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, that deadline has already passed. It's too late."
Yeah.
I said, "No, it hasn't." And she said, "Well, that deadline's already passed." And she rattled off a date. I said, "No, I'm pretty sure I can still run." And she named off a date again. She said, "It's too late." I said, "Listen." He announced in that Terra Wolf meeting that he was not going to run again. He was going to stay home and spend some time with his family. I said, and if he is not going to run again, this county has got to hold a special election for people to put their name on that ballot. And then she said, well, she kind of leaned forward a little bit. She said, his name is still on that ballot. And he has not come in here and said otherwise. But you can run as a write-in. I said, give me the paperwork. So I got the paperwork, got it all filled out, did all my stuff on the internet, got all my emails taken care of. Took me, I don't know, 2 weeks or less.
So out of all this, has anybody given you any kind of slack or any kind of feel like flack about it? Like trying to stop you from running?
I don't think there's been one bit.
Wow, that's good.
I've had maybe 2 somewhat rude comments on a couple of my posts that I put on Facebook.
You never read those. You can't.
I've read them.
It's so bad.
And
you get keyboard warriors.
Right. But it was a couple of situations where I'm pretty sure I was right on it. But anyways, just a couple of rude comments, not even rude comments, just thinking that I wasn't in the right on what I said.
Okay.
And so I'm pretty sure I was right.
Every man should have a right to be able to say what they feel on there without, I find that every time we do any kind of video for anybody, whether it's, left, right, center, doesn't matter. You're always going to find somebody that's going to have some little complaint on something that you do.
Absolutely.
And
but
just can't look at that
hard.
stuff.
I mean, next to no. Yes, I have had one comment come back to me.
Uh-oh. So
He has not a snowball's chance in hell of winning this race.
Now that is, I use that for fuel for fire.
Yeah,
like that's how I run off of
and
those. If
that
they tell me I can't do
that
it, I'm
comes
gonna make
from
it harder.
a friend that was talking to somebody, and he come back and told me, and I was like, well, we'll see.
Well, I'm gonna say if you put on election day, if your name is Willie Nelson on there,
And
I'm just gonna say that you've got a higher chance than you'd expect right there off the rip. That's
let's clarify that right there.
right. That's what I'm wondering.
So
how did that come about? How did
the
you get that name?
nicknames.
Right.
On your paperwork, you have 9 spots to fill out any nickname.
Okay.
So Joe Nelson is a nickname. My legal name is William Joseph Nelson.
Okay.
None of my family calls me William. They all call me Joe.
Okay.
My work family calls me Willie. The day I hired in the pipe fitters, my foreman comes to me and says, "I'm looking for Willie Nelson." And,
That's awesome.
and I said, right here. So when you work for the pipe fitters, you gain a nickname.
Yeah.
And
you can't go wrong with that one.
let me tell you something.
That's a good name.
Some of the nicknames you don't want.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. They get a little brutal.
And Willie Nelson stuck with the pipe fitters, and I never looked back on that one. So awesome. And I made sure on that paperwork I put down my nicknames. Joe Nelson is a nickname, and Willie Nelson is a nickname. And I have had pipe fitters come up to me since this, and you mean to tell me your name's not really Willie Nelson?
That's funny.
No, man, it's a nickname. I mean, it is my name. I mean, my name's William, but so that's where the Willie comes in.
I got friends that I, to this day, know them by their nickname and have never known their real name. And so it goes.
I mean, there's some names out there in the pipe fitters that I can't even name to you right here on this interview because
they get that bad.
They're bad, and you don't want them.
That's a fact.
And they stick with them for life.
So, out of this, what would you say is your main reason for running?
To make Boyd County. Boyd County is in bad shape, in my opinion. Boyd County is broke. I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but Boyd County is broke.
Now, are we talking about money-wise broke?
Yes.
Okay.
Money-wise. It's so broke that they had to borrow $3.5 million just to make the payroll.
Yeah.
And when you can't make payroll, and we're in debt.
Yeah. On something like that, how would it be that the judge would be able to fix that debt? Or is it even his responsibility on that? Or would there be a mayor involved in that? Or
So, judge executive's responsibility, in my opinion, is to try to lure industries, try to lure businesses into this county.
Right.
To make sure that the money is spent responsibly, to make sure that our tax dollars are not overspent. One of the first things that I would do, let me back up for 1 second. I would push real hard for a jail work farm. And on that work farm, one of the things that I would want to get rolling on it is, so our county has about 5 companies in the county that they have to get rid of some waste, and that waste is trees. Let's just say, I hate to even mention the name right now, but Pritchard Tree Service. You have Boyd Works. You have CNS. You have Mike Lights. They have to get rid of their trees. You have Asplin. They have to get rid of their trees. So you got all these tree services that has to get rid of their trees, and they was taking the Bobby's mulch. I believe that Bobby's mulch is just about plumb shut down. One of the things on this work farm that I'm going to push hard for is I'm going to get a firewood processing machine, and the inmates is going to run this firewood processor. and we're going to pump out firewood with this waste that they have to get rid of. And it goes to landfills, it goes to offsite dumps, somewhere they have to get rid of it. If I got inmates pumping out firewood, normal, nowadays a truckload of firewood sells for average $80 to $100 for a truckload of firewood right now. If I can get inmates pumping out firewood, just massive quantities of it, for let's just say $40 a truckload, people are going to want to come from all around to buy this firewood, cheap enough to where they can even resell it. Now, the jail has revenue coming in from these inmates. And another thing that I want to do on this work farm is get a rock crusher. So another thing that the companies or construction sites in the county has a tough time getting rid of is busted up concrete.
Yeah.
And anybody who busts up concrete, they can't get rid of it. They always have to try to find a place to take it, find a place to dump it. I'm gonna say, bring me all of your concrete. I want it all. And
So
maybe
what would you do with it?
So I'm gonna have a rock crusher, and we'll run it through the rock crusher, and it'll make 57 gravel.
Oh, okay.
So the county, one of their responsibilities is maintaining culverts. And anytime you dig up and put a new culvert in, you got to backfill it with gravel.
Right.
So now the county is purchasing gravel from the jail. So that money's just doing a little circle now.
Spiral now. Okay.
Now, you might think, well, the county's going to give the jail's going to give the county a big discount on that gravel. No, they're going to sell it to them the same price as they're going to get the truckload.
Right.
But the jail is getting revenue. That's revenue for the jail now.
Yeah.
And with the revenue that I'm getting off of selling firewood, selling gravel, hopefully I can get a grant on the firewood processing machine and on the rock crusher. If I can't, I'm going to try my best to have an outside source buy it for me. I got some pretty good friends. I'm hoping that I can get a grant for it. But with the money, the revenues coming in, I'm going to get one of these. I've worked all over the eastern United States on construction sites. And on every large construction site I've ever been on, there's these large, massive tents. And they put them up, they use them for storage warehouses, lunchrooms, and they're massive. Yeah. They're in Marathon, they use them for warehouses. I would build one of them so that the inmates could bust firewood year round, not working out in the winter and out in the bad weather. The inmates are going to want to come over here. One thing, it's going to teach them work ethic. The inmates get, I'm pretty certain, and if not, I will work out the details with this, that they get so much time off. Every day that they work on a work farm will go so much time off of their sentence.
Right.
It is. So what we can do is we can keep our eye on the inmates. Hey, look, keep your eyes on the sharpest ones. The ones that really want to work, the ones that really putting in the work and the detail, the ones that really want to get out of here. Yeah. Keep your eye on them, because we're going to have businesses contact us and say, hey, we really want a worker. We'll put them to work after this.
Yeah.
And not just so we can put them back out on the road and right back in jail.
Right.
We want to put them to work. Maybe even hire one for the county. I mean, an entry-level job in the county should be probably like the garbage routes or something like that. But we want to try to get these inmates back to working instead of, right back into the shape that they were in when.
As far as how well is your team, basically? How well does everyone over there know you? Do you have good rapport with all the workers that are over there at the jail? And
I don't know any of them.
so that's good. So it's a fresh start, basically.
I
Then.
will,
Okay.
I want to work with them.
Okay.
I knew one person, and he is no longer there. He just left recently, and then a long time ago, one of my cousins was a jailer, but he ended up getting killed on a street bike. But anyways,
so when it comes to the job, what parts do you see that the standing judge now? What parts do you see that you could do better as far as what he does? And
I think that they focus too much on that Sandy's.
The gaming casino?
Yes. They focus too much on the tourism. There's been a lack on our infrastructure in our county. Our roads are horrible. If you drive around, just the dirt piled up on the curbs. When's the last time you seen a grader going through Boyd County?
I can't think that I have.
A grader can grade 10 miles a day. I haven't seen a grader in Boyd County. I can't remember. When's the last time? Oh, yeah, and by the way, they quit weed eating. The inmates quit weed eating.
Now, yeah, we heard about that part. Now, I'm wondering if that is because of just budget cuts.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a state level.
Equipment, maybe?
Or if it's
insurance, something like that.
And
yeah, it's supposed to
so I'm hoping if I can get this inmate work farm going, that I can fund it with the revenue and get that inmate weed eating going back again.
So there's some difficulties in the job. There's no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's nobody can look at that job and say that is going to be an easy job. So what you're facing is an uphill climb.
Absolutely.
In that type of a job, where do you stand when it comes to business, right? Sometimes you'll have to put your foot down because the law has to have certain things that stops businesses from taking advantage of the people around there.
Yeah.
But those businesses are very lucrative. So where do you stand when it comes to the rules of what needs to be enforced versus, letting something slide just to have extra businesses stay in here? Because that's kind of a weird balance. And I think that answering that question will say a lot about what you're going to be doing.
We'll try to stand firm on the rules. We would get more of like a majority rule instead of just me saying, oh, but no, we're going to do this. It'd be more of a majority rule. Let's just say this. I'm going to bring in Tara Wolf.
This is a big one. This is a big one.
Instead of letting people know.
Right.
I think that he would have probably been just fine if he would have said, hey, look, we're going to bring this data center in and brought it to people's attention.
Right.
Instead of saying, hey, look, we got a data center coming in.
Yeah.
And it's a big one.
So I play devil's advocate on this topic right here because for all of the shortcomings that I've heard throughout, everything that's been going on, the one thing that I will say that he did well, which a lot of people won't even give him credit for, when he came out and he addressed it, nobody else would stand next to him to address it. When they had the TerraWolf meeting, he's the only one that put himself out there to stand there and actually take the brunt force of all of that. Nobody else stood there with him. And the ones that did stand behind him, that were back there on the stage, they piped up to say something quick. When the crowd got rowdy, they shut right back up and sat down. Yeah. That is a hard thing to do. So I give him props on that part right there. Is God, that's a hard thing to do. I wouldn't even know where to begin on that. If you had TerraWolf in front of you and they make you sign an NDA, what would you do in that scenario? Because that's a big question.
Let's go back a couple of years before this ever even started to happen.
Okay.
And I got a broke county that has to borrow money to make payroll.
Right. Which you got to think he's probably feeling the same way.
And hey, I want to come into your county,
Mm-hmm.
but you're going to have to sign an NDA.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I don't want a data center coming in my county. So
Even if it means no jobs.
so that's me personally.
Right.
Okay. But I'm not you.
Right.
I don't know if you do or not.
I don't
So-
personally.
And I don't know if your neighbor does. Or I don't know if my neighbor
There's
does.
a ton of
So,
people that might feel different.
I would be like, Bubba, I'm going to have to.
Make a decision.
I'm going to have to say no. I can't because I have to have my county's
Mm-hmm.
opinion on this.
Right.
I'm going to have to say no.
I've been to a lot of these meetings, and these meetings are so weird because it seems like everybody's so angry at that scenario in particular, but they're not focused enough to say why they're upset past the usual suspect of, oh, it's going to be too loud. I'm like, I don't really understand that one.
I've worked in some of the loudest places.
That's what I was about to say. There's louder companies.
It's going to be too loud.
Right.
I worked in AK Steel for
Mhm.
7 years. That was one of the loudest places
So
on
telling you.
earth.
Right.
I worked 7 years straight in Marathon.
Yep.
One of the loudest places on
for
earth.
sure.
And they're talking about these fans being loud.
Yeah.
Those fans are right there in Marathon.
Yeah.
You drive by the Marathon, you don't hear them.
Yeah.
You drove right by AK Steel, you never paid attention to it.
Yeah.
That stuff's not going to be an issue.
Right.
Our electric bills is going to be an issue.
That's where we start hitting.
You got to make
That's where
sure
the rubber
that
hits
stuff
the road.
isn't going to be spiking up.
Mhm.
And another thing I forgot to mention a minute ago. The amount of people that I've talked to that are for it and against it,
Mhm.
I've probably talked to a lot more people that are for the data center
Mhm.
than that are against it. I've talked to more construction workers
Mhm.
that can't wait till that starts.
Because they know that's jobs
Because,
for a
hey,
little
as
bit.
soon as it starts,
Mhm.
but as soon as that signature hits, we're going to work.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that are going to go to work
Mhm.
is unbelievable.
It is
Because
a
there's
really
4
great
big ones that's
opportunity.
starting in our area real soon. And I know a lot of people that are pushing big time for it.
Yeah.
And probably 2-1.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the way I look at it. The days of certain businesses are kind of gone. We know this. They're not coming back, and we need to adapt towards better industries that are going to be here for the long haul.
so the last TerraWolf meeting out at Boyd County where the audio was horrible.
Yeah.
You had a line of people that kept getting up. I want to say the anti-data center.
Right.
They must have been first in line to sign because every one of them
Yeah.
was the anti-data center.
I didn't see really
Okay.
anybody come up to say what it.
I'm going to tell you this. I know that there was just as many pro-data center people there.
But I didn't get to see one.
Didn't
of them
get to
come
see
up.
them. But I do know for a fact that they were there.
Yeah.
And I know them personally.
That whole front row that was
Yeah.
there was pretty much all like. What were those? Those were like all
Union
union, right?
workers.
Yeah.
Yeah, every
And all
single
of those
one of
guys
them were
wanted
there
it.
to support the data center.
Right. And you didn't get to
You
see
didn't
any
get to
of
see them
talk.
or hear their opinion.
That's it.
I don't know if that those others were there first and got to sign that paper first
Yeah.
or what.
Somewhere in the middle, there's calmer heads that have to figure out how to put food on the table, but yet at the same time protect the environment.
Right.
That's the people I want to hear from, is the people that have the calmer heads that can tell me what's the good thing, what's the bad thing. And maybe even in the same breath. What I didn't see at any of those meetings was a single person that did that.
Right.
Not from either side. The data center people that were sitting up there didn't seem to give an inch. They didn't want to admit that they were wrong for holding this back. They didn't want to admit that there was another way forward. The people who went up there to talk about it just sounded ridiculous because they couldn't even speak calmly. They just wanted to just scream. And I'm like, the people in the back, they're screaming at everybody. And we're like, nobody heard that. And it just made it harder to listen to the facts. So
that was a bad meeting.
It was a bad meeting. What I saw in there was just a complete lack of anything resembling normal people. That was just mob mentality is what I saw in there. And I give Mr. Cheney the props for the fact that he stood up there and took that brunt face force. Like, that's, I don't know if I would have been able to do that in so nice of a manner. I probably would have been, a lot of cussing would have came out. I'm just going to say.
He seems to be a pretty chill guy.
He seemed to be a pretty chill guy to take that. In that scenario, let's say you get the job. We've got a lot of people who work over there that there's other topics. Like we got Mr. Mark Hammond, amazing coroner. If you had the situation that's going on right now, what's your stance on what's going on with that?
Okay. Well, I did make a video and I did mention Mark Hammond's name in it. And it was at the end of the video. And I don't know if too many people got to watch it, but I've never met Mark Hammond. I don't believe so.
He's an amazing guy.
But all I can ask is for Mark Hammond to not quit. Just hang in there until after November the 3rd. If I get this position, I will try to get what he is worth. There's no promises there because I don't know if I can, but I will try my best to get what he is worth.
That's awesome.
And that's all I can say that I can do for it.
I like that.
There's no guarantee there. I'm not going to say, yeah, Mark Allen, I'm going to get you your money. But all I can say is, hey, please don't quit.
Yeah.
I mean, they want him to quit, in my opinion, because they're offering incentives to the people that's been there, that's right at retirement, or that is making higher wages to quit so that they can hire people and that's making lower wages, so that they can try to meet budget.
Yeah.
When they have to borrow $3.5 million to make budget, we're broke.
It's like, I understand that we're broke, but it's like, and I understand that there's probably not a lot of money going around, but I could think of a whole bunch of places that I would cut budgets, that I would cut money instead of having to disappoint someone who does that much
Before
work.
you don't give a guy who handles death
100%.
Every day, not get a raise.
I don't care if I had to hold a meeting to where every single person had to stay over late to figure out where we're getting this money from. We'd come together today and find out where that money is coming from. I mean, that's that one kills me.
Somebody's not getting a new vehicle.
That's what I'm saying. But we're gonna have to bear down and grit it. But that's what's happening. We're gonna find out how we can get this money for him tonight. That's where I would be on that. When it comes to making enemies, judges have that tendency to make some enemies.
I'm not wanting this position to make friends.
That's a good answer, actually.
And a matter of fact, some elected officials will probably be glad that I can't fire an elected official, because on day one, there's probably a couple that would go.
I like the answer.
And I won't be afraid to call them right out on day one. And I know that the judge executive does not have the ability to fire an elected official.
Right.
But I'm not wanting this position to make friends. I'm taking this position to turn heads.
To get some stuff done.
Right. I'm wanting this position to fix Boyd County. And if I get this position, you can't go into this position and keep every single person that works in Boyd County
Right.
and make it work
Right.
that is already here. Changes have got to happen, and I hate to say it, but I hate to be that guy, but some people have to leave.
Yeah.
I think
that's with any business. You're
right. I'm not wanting to be a guy that's going to bull rush this county, and that won't happen. And I've even had people even tell me, "You're not going to." And I know I'm not going to do that.
Right. I'm
not going to bull rush this county. But there are a couple of people that probably will leave on day one. I hate to say that, but that's just straight up how it is.
I like the fact that you have that mentality to where you're wanting to actually fix the crap that's out there. Now, on this, what if there's a pushback that stops you from being able to accomplish any of that because it's a lot of friends of friends, cousins of cousins, and so on and so on? What would be your answer to that?
I'm sorry it didn't work out for you.
I like that. That's a good.
That's just the way it's going to have to be.
That's it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. So what's your main objective when you get in? What's the main thing that you want to fix?
I want to bring industry into this county.
Industry?
Yeah.
I like that. Which kind of industry?
I'd really like to see another steel mill.
Nice.
Auto factories.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even talked to him about it either. But I want to sit down with the local building trades manager and see what it will take to entice an industry into our county.
Yeah.
If it involves tax break for so many years that they can guarantee a certain amount of employees that they can bring a company into our county. I want a large industry back in this county again. If a company can bring 1,000 employees back into our county, can you imagine us, our county offering them so many years tax-free?
Tax-free, just to keep,
And hey, if you can guarantee 1,000 employees or 500 or more, and we're going to give you this many years tax-free or a certain percent tax-free or less taxes,
that would be.
Come on in. What can we do to accommodate you?
I'd like to see some of these. Tesla has that gigafactory. I'm kind of curious.
Battery plant.
Yeah, there's a couple of different ones he does where he makes the actual cars themselves, presses them. I would like to know how those meetings take place to where they try to bring in industry. Is there like a wine and dining kind of moment where you're like, hey, we need you to come down here and have some conversations? Because I'm wondering, how does one go about that? If you became the judge, what would be your first act of trying to figure that part out?
That's just it. I don't know yet, but I want to work my butt off to figure that out.
It's a good one.
Whatever it takes to get it done. I don't know what it takes. And Rocky Adkins.
We did an interview with him. He's a really good guy.
I know people
definitely
that are personal friends with him.
Yeah.
My business manager of Local 248 knows him very well. Hey, can we sit down with Rocky Adkins?
Speaking with the local business managers would probably definitely be a good way to start that out. Just seeing if they have any ideas for industry or trying to bring in anything. I like that. That's actually a really great idea. If you could meet any of the big finance people, who is somebody that's on your list that you would want to talk to?
The big finance people?
CEOs from Google, Tesla, Ford Motors.
Ford. That's what I was about to say.
I literally went to Ford.
Ford. I'd love to sit down with Ford. Man, I'd love to see a Ford stamping plant come into Boyd County. I know they're already in Kentucky. We got river, rail,
Yeah.
all right here. I mean, the old AK Steel property is prime property
I'm
for
telling you.
somebody. I have no idea why Steel Mill left that.
I kind of wondered about that. I had heard stories that it would cost them to clean it up and to change it, but I'm kind of wondering if that wouldn't even make them more money just because there's so much stuff to take down from there.
Yeah. They say it costs a lot to clean it up, but there's not that much to clean up.
But you'd make so much off of it, like
Yes.
the scrap steel.
Well, they took most of the scrap steel out of that place and took it up to Middletown and scrapped it.
Hmm.
So I left there in '09, and after that, when they shut it down, I drive by and watching them scrap the place. I was actually there when they scrapped the old Belfont. I watched the Belfont fall.
Yeah. It's weird seeing all these industries just disappear.
Just go, and nothing replaces them.
And nothing replaces them. That's
Yes.
what I keep trying to push. When we started this business, it was to help small business because you've got all these big businesses that come in, take all the resources. Not a single dime of that goes right back into the
Right.
community. They all go out somewhere else. Shore companies, whatever, Like when you see a Walmart show up, there's a few people that work there, which is great, but all the money that's funneling
Yeah,
into that,
and
that's not going back into here.
I hate to say it like this, but they're not high-paying jobs.
They're not. It's like we went to Walmart today, and there was a couple thousand people, felt like, in that whole building. One teller open.
Yeah.
One.
And that aggravates the life out of me.
Like, it's just the most
Yes, they
ridiculous
want you
thing
to
I've ever
bring
seen.
your own stuff.
Right.
Back when AK Steel was working, and so Marathon
Mhm.
is a good example. When I worked at AK, we were told that every job, every job there supports like 4 jobs in the county.
Yeah.
And I don't know the true statistics there, but it does.
Yeah,
I mean,
makes sense.
so if you have back in its prime,
Mhm.
there was 8,000 people that worked there.
Yeah.
So that'd be like 30-some thousand jobs right there that it supported for this county.
It's crazy. That's one of the big things that we're trying to face is the fact that people are leaving here to get a good job. And that's not great. Like, we definitely need to have more people trying to stay here in order to do more stuff. But I feel like it's got to come from like a ground up effect, because it doesn't feel like the up is gonna start worrying about.
So they're trying to bring in tourism,
Mhm.
and they're building this horse track.
Right.
I've never been up and around it. Have you been up and around it?
I have not. I worked for Sandy's for a long time, so I don't really have a dog in the fight on that one.
So it's supposed to open soon, right? The horse track.
Yes,
Tomorrow.
it will. Be
So
tomorrow, right.
it's supposed to open tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you know if it's going to happen?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
I believe that they're pushing hard for it.
Let me ask you a question. How do you get to it?
You have to go all the way up past Sandy's.
What are you going to do? Scrap a car on your way there?
I know. That's why I said.
I mean,
supposedly there's going to be a road right behind it.
Okay, so I mean, we're bringing in these people that wants to come and watch a horse race,
Right.
and I'm not down in the not down in the scrapyard, but they've got to drive through a scrapyard.
Yeah.
And to come watch a horse race.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird scenario there, but
They're premature in this, but we're going to eventually have to build a bridge, right?
right. Well,
Who's going to?
I don't know if they need a bridge. I think what it is just
I heard that we're going to. I don't know if this is true or not, but I thought there was a bridge going to be coming in behind the mall somewhere.
I don't know. All I know is that there's supposed to be a road that's right behind Sandy's that you could go straight up and go into the horse track that way. Now that's just what
I thought there was supposed to have been a bridge crossing the creek behind it. So if that was the case, who's going to front that?
Right.
But
that's a rough
we're going to have to come in. Might as well scrap a car while we're coming through there, going to the horse race.
So when I look at that, Sandy's was a great opportunity for me to work there.
Mm-hmm.
I loved every minute of the time that I spent there. I started this after working there. And I don't have any negative things to say about Sandy's at all. I've seen a lot of the publicity, which it's either good or bad. I I never got to meet any of the really higher up people. Um, I don't really know enough about it to say if it's a bad thing for the community or if it's a good thing for the community. I know that there's a lot of people out there that work and they love it out there. Everybody there's been really good. It's been a cool team. As far as the industry side of it, like, you know, I know there's a lot of people that work out there that make pretty darn good money and they're not working at Walmart or any of those other places. So as far as that, I give them props. Now, what I'd like to see is more substance, like more jobs that are kind of like that. Like, I don't know how we got Sandy's down here, like who brought that deal in, but that's kind of what I would like to see more of down through here. And I don't know. That's
We'd
one
have
of
to
those
have a
things
lot
I would
of
like
it to get us
back on the road on the
right.
right track. Yeah, that's a fact. I think
If not, if not, the shape that we're in, we're going to have to do some more major cutting
right.
in the county.
I think personally, there's a lot of space out there at Camp Landing, and that mall is amazing. I mean, the place out there is fantastic.
It's never done real good.
It's never done.
It's never done real good.
But I don't know if it hasn't done real good because of a certain thing that's holding it back, or if it's because industry is just dying and nobody has money to go out and spend out there, or if it's something else.
I think it's just the general location of it. It has to be because
it feels, I think, to me personally, it feels like we've got all this industry that's here, but yet nobody wants to focus on like the publication of it or to get the word out for it. When's the last time you actually saw a message that said, come eat at this new place that just showed up? You don't see it a lot.
We're not short on restaurants in Boyd County.
No, not at all. And
my goodness, we get
a lot of that. So, but what we don't see a lot of is we don't see a lot of push for where everybody can go community-wise to get together to say that this new thing is coming out or this new thing is coming out. You've got the Boyd, that little center that's out there.
Boyd County Community
Center
out on Route 3.
Love that thing. That place is awesome. But is there like a meeting once a week that says, hey, everybody come down here. We're going to be talking about new businesses that we want to see come out here. Like, you don't see that. You don't see the togetherness of trying to get something off the ground. It just seems like there's a lot of people who are like, no, we're just going to do it by ourselves. No, we're just going to do it by ourselves. And that's what I'm seeing. And I don't know if that's what's actually doing it or if it's something more sinister behind the wheel.
The county commissioners are supposed to be behind all that, trying to bring businesses into the county.
But then again, I don't know where they would go to do that. I don't know who they would talk to. It feels like a lot of just tires spinning with no traction, Have you spoken with Mr. Cheney at all?
So at the Boyd County,
the high school one?
The data center meeting out there, when I got up and I turned around, Cheney was behind me, and I went straight over to him and I shook his hand and I said, you're probably surprised to see a late ride in.
Yeah.
He said, no, not at all. He said, you're compassionate about the county, and we had a small conversation there, and we don't have any. I don't have no hard feelings against him at all. Yeah. I've known him before this, and from working in Marathon, I went to him and got permits from him. Working in Marathon, I don't have no hard feelings towards him, and nothing against him. And
from what I've seen from him, he seems to be an up and up guy.
Probably a lot of stress on him.
That's a ton of stress. I wouldn't even want the job myself. That's a lot.
Yeah, I've heard he's had death threats, and I've heard people throwing stuff in his driveway. And I can't imagine waking up and having to clean nails out of my driveway.
No, that's ridiculous. You shouldn't have to either.
No,
I mean, that it bugs me that people have that attitude where they just.
Can you imagine being that kind of a guy to send somebody a death threat and
No.
let's drive by and throw stuff in somebody's driveway.
Absolutely not. That's just the most ridiculous thing ever. And then it's on top of that, you know, you're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to go out and speak to the people. Like I can see that he's trying. You know, he's actually one of the only ones that actually embraces social media and is trying to get the words out. And I see a lot of people that's telling him he shouldn't do that. Period. You know, like, and to be honest, if he didn't do that, he probably wouldn't have half the troubles that he's got.
Yep.
And he's trying to be on the up and up with people, and he wants to actually embrace social media, getting the message out and getting people on board. To me, that's pretty impressive. Now, if you got in right now, what's your stance on social media?
I'll probably be on social media about every day.
I love that.
Yeah.
To me, that's
Yeah, this is what we're doing today.
That's it. That's what we're doing. I mean, you can reach.
I don't know if it'd be every day, but I mean, it'd be
in a single day. Just a simple look at the president, right? He tweets one thing, a couple million people see that tweet in a day.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the kind of, like, I won't say power, but that's the kind of power that social media has. You know, it can reach so many people so quickly. If you want to get things done, you need to be able to get things done. I can't think of a meeting where 1 million people go and sit at a meeting. I've never seen a meeting like that. That would be a hell of a meeting.
Yeah.
But
I'll probably start a new page, and not just my.
That's what I was going to ask. Which is your favorite social media?
Facebook.
Facebook.
I would start a new Facebook page, but people said I should already have started one, but I'm not going to. And if I get this, I probably would, but and I would probably post up. I mean, or maybe a couple times a day. Hey, this is what we're doing, and this is how this is going. This is how this department's going. If you're wondering about what's happening here,
I think it's one of the things that can save small towns like this if it's used correctly. There's a lot of opportunity to make money the incorrect way.
Yeah.
Which is when I see clickbaity stuff where they're just, I hate to say it because I like all of my news buddies that are around, but I hate some of the practices that they do.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of some of that stuff. Like, I'm here. I'm local. I'm not going to talk about something that's happening in another state that's not got nothing to do with the tri-state, right? Like, Florida's great, but it's got nothing to do with any of us around here. It's not going to put food on our tables. Like, California is great. There's, whatever, but I'm not going to post about that because it's not going to bring any food around here. I think social media needs to be more effective for helping the little guy instead of just we're making rich people richer,
right?
Which in turn is not helping anybody around this area, and it's a joke. So I'm glad to hear you say that.
I'm definitely not rich. You can look my little.
I know that's right. None of us around this area is.
$500 car sitting out front.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Everything I got right now, I had before this position. Mm-hmm. If I don't get this position, I still got everything I got. The way I see it, if you want me to make this county better, if you want this county better, elect me. If you don't want this county better, keep electing the same type of people that's in there.
Yeah.
And the other 2 or 3 that's running, there's the same type of people that's in there. So you're getting somebody different. You're getting somebody that's never been in any political position ever. The other biggest competitor doesn't know what she wants to run for. Let's run for this one. I didn't get it. Let's change my mind and run for this because there's a data center coming into Boyd County. I'll run for this one. Willie Nelson ran for it. I'll go sign up too. I'm Willie Nelson, and I'm running for Judge Executive of Boyd County. And the reason I'm running for judge executive of Boyd County is because I want to make it a better place to live. Simple as that.
Well, I wish you luck, and it's been a pleasure to have you on here. And is there anything else you might want to talk about?
I don't think so.
When's the election day?
November the 3rd.
November 3rd. Willie Joe Nelson.
And I'm going to bring something up.
How do they, what is the name that you're actually on for the ballot?
I'm not on the ballot. I'm a write-in.
Or you're going to be a write-in.
Yes.
So what do they put in?
They can write down William Joseph Nelson. They can write down Joe Nelson, or they can write down Willie Nelson. Willie.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yep.
Very cool.
They can write down Willie Joe Nelson. But any of those, I put them all down. I filled in all my 9 spaces for my nicknames.
That's cool. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure.
It has. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you for joining in. This has been Your Story, Our Lens. And come election day, you know what to
Please
do.
get out and vote,
Get out
whether
and
you're
vote.
voting for me or not.
Absolutely.
Get out and vote.
All right, guys. Peace.
Thanks.